Hi, and in this video, I'm just talking about my experience, my own personal experience on getting a job in Ireland. Like, what did I do for me to get a job in Ireland, and how did I get my job in Ireland? Because many of you have, know that the easiest way of getting a job in a foreign country is going there through studentship. Especially those countries that are so difficult to get in. But Ireland is a hidden gem that most people do not know, because most Kenyans go to take their they are looking at America, they're looking at like this year, close to is it 30 million Kenyans fill the green card, because America is the dream place for most Kenyans to go. Then the second place that most Kenyans want to go is the UK. Then mainland Europe, like Schengen countries. I don't know what is the buzz with the Schengen countries. Then some Kenyans will want to go to Australia, whereas others will want to go to Canada. But most Kenyans afford, or most Kenyans get themselves going in the Middle East, as working in Dubai, working in Saudi Arabia, working in Qatar, working in Jordan, and countries are the Gulf countries and the Middle East countries. There are people, professionals working there. But now, specifically, let's talk about Ireland. So Ireland is a small island south of the UK, and it shares the land with the UK in terms of Northern Ireland is in the UK, whereas the Republic of Ireland is a republic on its own. So two ways in this country that you can get a job. The easiest way is through the student graduate program. So when you come to Ireland to study, let's say a master's or a PhD in Ireland takes 4 years, but a master's takes roughly 1 year to 2 years, depending on the program. So let's say you're on the 1 year master's program. So once you're done with the 1 year master's program, it could be on scholarship or it could be self-sponsored. And I'll talk about the two different parts: the scholarship part and the self-sponsored part. So if you have the money, you can sponsor yourself, and school fees will range from between like 1.5 million Kenyan shillings to around 2 million Kenyan shillings. That is not a lot of money that you can invest in this, because some of us blow these millions to buy Subarus and cars that just that might depreciate in value rather than adding value to our own lives. So when you come here as a student, you study the first year. Within this year of study, look, you'll spend money, but you'll also earn money, because you can take a part-time job up to 20 hours per week. And 20 hours, if you get a good job, you're likely to go home with between 1,000 euros to around 1,500 euros, sometimes even more. And that is if you convert with the current Kenyan rates, it's 127k to around 170k. That one is a guarantee if you're a hardworking person. So while you're studying, you'll also be earning, and this little money that you'll be earning will help you to keep up yourself, like paying your rent and all that. And I'll show you in terms of the accommodation, like what is the accommodation, what does it look like? Like, for instance, accommodation for 100,000 Kenyan shilling. So once you're done with your masters, then there is a graduate visa that you are given, which is 2 years, but you're given for 1 year, then you can renew for another year. So the purpose of this visa is like for you to stay back and look for a job. Most countries give like 6 months, but Ireland gives 1 year and another 1 year. Those are 2 years. So within 2 years, if you are smart enough, you're aggressive enough, you'll have gotten your job, your professional job. And these jobs should be jobs that are sponsored, that sponsor your visa, like your work permit. You get a work permit from them. So if you get a good employer, you will easily get a job that will sponsor your visa. Then that one means that you are here for as long as you have a job. And once you do the job for 5 years, if you're on a zero work employment permit, then you get this visa they call stamp 4, where you don't need any permission to work in Ireland. You don't need any work permit. You can just work in whatever sector you want. Then the second one is the General Skills Employment Permit. If you get that one within two years, you have gotten your stamp 4, and you'll be able to work in whatever sector you wish. And of course, as a researcher like myself, it's called a hosting agreement. The one that I came with, after 2 years, you get your stamp 4, and you are able to work in whatever sector without the requirement of a work permit or such kind of thing. So that is the first way. The second way, and it's not difficult because a lot of people don't have the patience of looking and searching and searching. The first one, you can buy your way in, because if you have money, if you have that money, you can pay your school fees and join a school and finish a course while you're doing a part-time job. And during the summer break, you'll be doing 40 hours. So within that year, you'll be able to recover your money. But what most people don't, not that they don't like, they want, but they don't want to go through the patient, is the normal way of looking for a job. For my case, I didn't come to Ireland as a student. I, I used to work in Kenya, and I used to work in a research organization. And every day, what I could do is that when people leave, because people leave the office at exactly 5. There are those who leave at exactly 5 and come at around 8 or 9. But I used to report to the office at least 1 hour earlier. So I'm 1 hour ahead of people, and I leave the office at around 7. So those are 2 hours. So I have 3 hours every day of searching through the internet, looking for jobs abroad. And my target was mostly in Europe, because I like going home so much, and I wanted to be somewhere close where because I used to live in Nairobi, in Thika, and I could fly to. I could, like driving home in Busia, where I was raised, where I come from. It could take 10 hours. So I wanted a place that has almost the same. Like my parents, my families will not mean my well will not will not feel my absence for so long. So then Europe was the best. Like you see, like somewhere in London, you can just fly to Nairobi within 9 hours and you're home. You take another flight to Kisumu, you're home. Nobody knows even that you're far. They don't feel your absence. In case there's a wedding, you can fly home. There's a funeral, you can easily fly home. So Australia, Canada, and America was far for me. Then Europe is, I just had this love of, the history and all that, and the link between, Africa and Europe. At least I thought I was not going to struggle so much. So then I went to the internet. Of course, when you just search jobs in Europe, it will bring you credible websites that you will use. And some of these websites I've already mentioned, like for the Irish website, I have mentioned in my previous video. So I did the searches, and just the normal things. Some jobs they'll need me to write like a statement of purpose. Some jobs they just need me to fill a form. Others they just need me to write a motivation letter, and also have a letter. And I really thank my referees. Like, they were patient with me. They were writing for me letters all the time. Within a period of almost 2 years, me just disturbing them to write letters to my potential employees. And eventually, like, within that period, I got shortlisted in close to, I think, 6 jobs. And I remember one, I got shortlisted in a job in, there's a town called Aalborg in Denmark. And I got interviewed, but I eventually did not take up the job. Then I got another interview at University of Liverpool, but the job did not mature, of course. Then another one, University of Brighton in the UK. Then I also got shortlisted for an interview in University of Oslo in Norway. And in Ireland, so there was this job at University College Dublin, and I got shortlisted, I got interviewed, and I got an email that I've gotten the job. It was that simple. So it is possible for you to get a job from Kenya, because you don't have to come here as a student for you, because most of you have a lot of work experience. And myself, I only had 3 years of work experience, and I had not even finished my master's. I had finished my master's, but I had not graduated, because that was in 2019 around July, and I graduated in September. So I was done with my master's, but I had not graduated. But I had been employed in that organization in 2017 May. So see, 2017 May to 2017 around July. It's just 2 years. I think 2 years of working there. So not really, like, I was well grounded when it comes now to the skills and the work experience. Yes, I had the work experience and all that, but it was just 2-3 years of working. So you don't need to have worked for like 10 years or 20 years for you to get these jobs. But two things. The most important thing that I looked at, number one, is sit down and evaluate your skills. Like, what skills do you have? Like myself, I understand myself very well. I'm a very extroverted person. I'm an anthropologist by profession. I'm a medical anthropologist, to be specifically. So I know very well that I like talking so much, and I like qualitative interviews. I like doing research, so then the next thing is, okay, I have skills X, Y, and Z. So these countries, what countries am I targeting? Then you map out these countries, because you just don't want to be a jack of all trades. You just going, any country, as long as it's an opportunity. Even if an opportunity comes from Mars, you just want to go because you want to go. I mapped out the countries that I would like to work, and I did research about these countries. What are the skills that they're looking for in these countries? And do I fit to these skills? Like, do my skills fit within these skills that they're looking for? And I realized, like, yes, they actually fit. And Ireland was actually one of them. So it's very important to understand the skills they're looking for. And number two, what skills do you have to offer? I, I remember there's a professor, a friend of mine, when there was this offer for me to go and study in the US, and I went to seek advice from him. I asked him, "What do you think about this?" But it was in archaeology. Yes, I passed so well in my anthropology, but archaeology was not one of the best. It's called paleanthropology. It was not one of the best that I wanted to major in, or I wanted to specifically, do that. And I kept on saying, I want to be a medical anthropologist. I want to do research in health. So he asked me, the way he told me, the way I know you, you have passion for this discipline, medical anthropology. Do you just want to go to the US because an opportunity has come up and you want to be among the people in your village who have been to the US, or who live in the US, or who work in the US, or do you really want to follow your passion? So I thought about that and I passed. I said no. And the person who gave me this opportunity was wondering, like, how come this young man, I'm just giving him an opportunity on a silver platter and he's not taking it up? So I eventually ended up doing my master's at the University of Nairobi. They did medical anthropology at the University of Nairobi. I got a scholarship. I'll talk about how I got that scholarship later on in the coming videos. And I completed my master's there, and I never had any experience of studying abroad. I just studied my undergraduate at the University of Nairobi, BA in anthropology. In sometimes our classroom used to flood when there's too much rain, and other students could laugh at us that we are the ones who normally study from the basement there where it floods. Sometimes we had all struggles, the stigma, the social stigma within the higher education. When you're doing anthropology, they say, you're not going to be successful, it's not going to be relevant, what the hell is this you're studying? So we had to go through all those struggles, and just your friends discouraging you, telling you, like, are you really going to get a job one day if you continue taking this? Why can't you switch to a different course? So those are the challenges that we got. But eventually I finished my bachelor's in anthropology and went back to the same department to do a master's in anthropology. Look at that. So this is a person who was being discouraged to take anthropology, but now I'm taking anthropology again. So it was beautiful, and I think it's the skills that I got through the training at the University of Nairobi, and also the skills that I got from my first job and my second job in Kenya, that grounded me well and positioned me. And I could say, like, I have this and this and this to offer, and this country needs this type of person. So the question, can you get a job while you are in Kenya? Yes, you can, because I got it and I am here. I got it in 2019 and I am here, So I'm a living example of somebody who has gotten a job from there. It was so easy, it was so simple for me, because I came here as a researcher to work in a university. It was the easiest way, the paperwork. There was no much, heavy paperwork, nothing. I paid nothing in terms of, work permits and all that. There's nothing like that. There's a program called the Hosting Agreement Scheme that I came with, and it was like, it is seamless. Once you have that document, and the document was, I remember it was brought to my office by DHL. Are you Fernando? Okay, sign here. When I opened, it was my hosting agreement and all that. The only thing I needed is to present that one to the embassy, and plus my other paperwork for the visa, the normal one for the visa, and my job contract and all that, and I got my visa within a very short time. And later on, my family joined me. So these are the opportunities that are there for lots of young people. So we'll just continue the conversation, and maybe in future I will, so that you to kill this monotony, I'll bring other people who have been who have passed through other routes, like you see, like who came to Ireland as students and eventually they got a job, so that they can share their experiences. But I interact with them and I know, there are lots of opportunities for everyone. And let's keep the conversation going.